Welcome to the Tampa Native Show. Stay tuned now for the most entertaining 60 minutes from the studios at TBCN, Tampa Bay Community Network. Join your hosts Mario Nunez and Steve Canella as they celebrate growing up in Tampa. From Shakey's to Shock Armstrong, Braddock Street and Buffalo Avenue, get ready to call in and tell us your stories, because sharing those memories has never been this much fun. The Tampa Native Show is brought to you by the Columbia Restaurant. And now, here's your hosts, Mario Nunez and Steve Canella.
Thanks for tuning in. This is Dr. Paul Bear. You're watching the Tampa Natives Halloween version of Creature Feature, and that's good because I've been lurking for you. As your co-ghost and master of ceremonies, I'm broadcasting live from the Tenement Castle. And we have another horrible little show for you tonight, and it's really, really horrible, or my name isn't Dr. Paul Bear. Well, you know, it's very comfortable here in the Tenement Castle, and we're in the non-living room, as you can see right now. And, well, you know, it's kind of nice being a homeowner. And, well, what do you know? Well, what is that? I mean, well, I guess I'm not the only homeowner in here, you know. Each week we dig up some horrible old movies and also some very horrible old memories, too, to talk about. And quite frankly, some of those memories should be left buried. Well, it's supposed to be a live call-in show, and we want live callers, but sometimes we do get an occasional dead caller, too. So, well, I can't believe this year is flying by so fast. We're coming up on the Yuletide season, and Halloween is right around the corner, and before you know it, it's going to be Thanksgiving. Well, that's pretty bad. Sorry about that, Fright fans. But anyway, Jeff Haynes, our production manager and music decomposer, he'll be putting that number up on the screen in a little bit, and we'll be taking your calls. So be sure to call in and tell us your Tampa Halloween stories. And it could be scary stories, funny stories, or your most memorable Halloween experiences from growing up in Tampa. So be sure to call in. Look out for that number. We'll be doing that in a few minutes here. Well, before we get started, I'd like to hear from our Fright fans and hear what they have to say about the show. So what we're going to do now, I've dug up a couple old emails and Fright mails, and they were kind of buried in my inbox. So, hang on a second. We got a few here to read. Well, one of them is, this is Patty from Cincinnati. And Patty writes, Dr. Paul Bearer, your show brings back some really horrible old memories that I'd rather forget. P.S. Do you color your hair? Well, Patty from Cincinnati, I'm glad you're having such a great time watching the show, and I'm glad it cheers you up, too. Well, about my hair, that's between me and my scare dresser. Well, you know, what am I going to say? We got another one from, this is Cassie from Tallahassee. Now, Cassie writes, Dr. Paul, I'm a big fan of yours, and I've heard you have a beautiful body. Well, is that true? Well, Cassie, it is true. I do have a beautiful body, and I keep it in the basement. Well, anyway, one more email we'll read here. This is actually a Fright mail from Janet from another planet. And Janet writes, Dr. Paul Bearer, I just flew in, and I wonder if she left her broom in the closet here. But anyway, she writes, the show is awesome, and I think you're out of this world. And Janet from another planet, thank you so much for that note. And I think you're from another planet too. Well, interesting thing happened this couple days ago. I went to a restaurant, and it was an Oriental restaurant. They gave me a misfortune cookie. And anyway, what I decided to do, I didn't want to open it there, so I figured I'd go ahead and open it here on the show. And got it one hand here, so it's going to be a little tricky, but well, let's get this open here. Bear with me a moment, Fright fans. We have, well, my lucky number is 13. That makes a lot of sense, though, doesn't it? Well, let's turn this over and see what it says. Well, blood is thicker than water. Well, I have to agree with that, and but blood actually makes you smarter, too. And that's why I drink Blood Wiser. I don't know if you can see this or not, but really, really good stuff. You don't want to drink too much, though. You'll end up in the bathroom too long. Well, anyway, here at the Tenement Castle, we get sometimes some baddie people will come by. I was expecting my mummy tonight, but she kind of got wrapped up with a few things, so she couldn't make it. But sometimes you never know who's going to stop by, so they'll drop in unannounced. And when they do that, they tend to kind of hang around a little bit too much, But anyway, so sometimes what I'll really, really weird. You just never know. I mean, you could be sitting here watching TV, and all of a sudden someone will stop by. But, well, maybe that might happen tonight, but you never know. Well, wait a minute, that rings a bell. Well, let's take a look here. Wonder who that could be. Let's try. Yeah, here we go. Well, whoever it is, they seem pretty anxious. In fact, well, they must have ADD, attention doorbell disorder. Okay, that's enough. I think I better get up and see who that is. Let me get up and check that out. Let's see who's here tonight. Well, if it isn't my old friend, Groucho Marx. Well, welcome, Groucho, to the Tenement Castle.
Well, hello there, Dr. Paul.
Well, fancy seeing you here.
Well, it's nice seeing you as well.
Well, what's behind the fake nose, mustache, and glasses?
What do you mean?
Well, I'll be darned. It's another set of fake nose, mustache, and glasses. Well, go figure, you know. I mean,
Well, Dr. Paul, it's a pleasure being with you tonight. I see that you have a nice little setup here.
you know, if that isn't Two-Face, I don't know what is. Well,
Dr. Paul, I tell you what, I can already tell you, Dr. Paul, that this room seems like there's already more than one of us in here, and I think that, you know what, Dr. Paul, why don't we get this show started? Hey, Dr. Paul, tell me, what's going on with that fortune cookie there?
well, it was a very unfortunate situation, actually, Groucho, and
I understand you had a little microphone mishap.
well,
huh?
you know, I did. In fact, it's already kind of, my good luck is actually in play right now. I mean, it was kind of a fluke at the beginning of the show here, but I didn't know what to do. But
Maybe that boy Jeff Haynes can get your microphone to work after all.
well, you know, Jeff Haynes, our program mangler and music decomposer, he's just phenomenal, you know, and good thing I keep a spare in my locker, by the way. But so how are you?
I'm doing good, Dr. Paul. Thanks so much for asking. You know, it's been a little while since I've been on the air. In the 1950s, we had that show. If you remember that show, You Bet Your Life. You remember that, Dr. Paul?
You bet your life I do.
All right, Dr. Paul. Well, I'll tell you what. Tonight, I'd like to introduce something to you, maybe to those people out there watching before we take these phone calls. And I'd like to maybe introduce a new version of that once popular TV show, You Bet Your Life, and The Secret Word. Do you remember The Secret Word, Dr. Paul?
You know, I can't keep a secret, Groucho.
Well, Dr. Paul, tonight we've got two secret words chosen. And what we'd like to do is once we take these phone calls here, we'd like to go ahead and let everybody know that if you do activate the secret word, you're going to win one of these fabulous little coffins over here. Dr. Paul, have you had a look at this right here? This is pretty spectacular. You can keep all of your little keepsakes in there. Pretty nice. Coffin shaped, just in time for Halloween for you boys and girls out there. And we've got two words picked out for you, two very special words. So be thinking about them. They're common things having to do with Halloween.
Well, you know, that brings back a lot of memories with little coffins. And, you know, you might know the answer to this, but what did one casket say to the other casket?
I don't know, Dr. Paul.
Is that you, coffin?
No, Dr. Paul.
That's pretty good,
I tell you what, Dr. Paul. Sometimes I got to tell you, Dr. Paul, it's better to remain silent and thought a fool than to speak up and remove all doubt. I don't know, Dr.
You know,
Paul.
I have to agree with you there, Groucho. This might be one of them cases, right? I'll tell you right now, but I don't know. But I'm so glad you stopped by, though. You're a real crack up, you know.
Well, Dr. Paul, it takes one to know one, like you always say.
Well, thank you so much.
So shall we tell these viewers out there in TV land what it is that we used to do when we were little kids running around the city of Tampa?
You know, I think that's a good idea, and I think you should go first since you're the guest.
I'd be happy to. Well, I tell you what, Dr. Paul, there was once upon a time, a spectacular time growing up here in the city of Tampa when, you know, you could go trick-or-treating and you could stay out pretty much all night. I can remember going from block to block, covering 6 and 7 and 8 city blocks, going across the big avenues. Sometimes you get so much candy, Dr. Paul, you'd have to come home and get a new knapsack. You know what a knapsack is, Dr. Paul?
Well, I'm not really sure. Go ahead and tell me.
I don't know either, but I tell you what, it was a lot of fun. We'd come home, we'd rip off a new pillow off the pillowcase. Yeah, Dr. Paul, it was great. What'd you used to do?
Well, you know, we had a very similar childhood, too, back in the day, and there was a million kids out there doing trick-or-treating. Now, one thing we used to hate was getting the penny in the bag. You know, we didn't want that at all. We wanted candy, and never fun getting the house. We kind of avoided the house with a penny. It was just a waste of time, you know, so...
How about those people, Dr. Paul, that used to put out that bowl of candy?
Oh, that was, I don't know what you call that other than bravery or...
Or stupidity. I don't know,
stupidity,
Dr. Paul, because, you know, the first person that got to that bowl got all the candy. Everybody else got no candy.
So true, so true. Well,
Dr. Paul, anytime you're ready, I would like to fire up these phone lines if you think it'd be appropriate to do so.
well, you know, we're waiting for some live callers, and, you know, if things get bad, we'll take some dead callers,
Sometimes
too.
you get the dead callers,
but
too,
please,
don't you?
Please call in, and Jeff, we got the number up on the line already here on your screen, on your TV screen.
That's
that is.
813-254-7820, 7820, 254-7820. Call us up and tell us your favorite. Look at that little boy.
Oh,
that's the most adorable little kid I've ever seen. Who is that, Dr. Paul?
Well, Groucho, that's someone named, his name is Mario Nunez, but I don't know what's on his head, though.
I don't know either, Dr. Paul. But what was his parents thinking putting him in that dunce cap? Something's not right about that picture.
Man, I don't know what they were thinking back then, but it's a cute picture anyway, though.
It's an adorable picture, Dr. Paul.
And Groucho, if we don't get too many calls right away here, which while we're waiting for calls, if things get a little slow, we can always revert to this here, and it's Grimm's Scary Tales.
I like that book.
Yeah, we got some good stories in here.
Somebody read that book to me once.
Really? Who was
I
that?
like that book. I don't know. Maybe it was your mommy.
Well, I'll be darned. Well,
It could have been.
well, we got Jack and Kill in here. In addition to that, we
Went
have
down that hill?
Creeping Beauty and Goldilocks and the Three Scares.
Which reminds me.
We may not have to go there, though.
Have you heard that nursery rhyme before, Dr. Paul?
That's been a while, I have to say.
Yeah, Jack
Groucho.
and Jill went up the hill. They each had a quarter. Yeah, Jill came down with 50 cents. You think they went up for water? I don't know. But phone call,
Wow.
line 4. What do you say, Dr. Paul?
Well, I say let's take it here. Let's
Shall I?
see what's a live caller. Well, we'll see.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Oh, this is the Great Pumpkin from Orlando.
Oh, no.
Oh!
Will this be Mike?
And that guy in
Mike.
the background is West Tampa Tin Man.
Oh!
Hey, look at the size of that bag right there. I'm going to tell you something. He's got a bunch of Krispy Kreme donuts just like when he's eating. How many donuts do you think that bag could hold?
A couple of dozen at least.
At least. And look at the maraca on his right hand.
I was thinking the same thing. I don't even know what that is in my right hand, but I think it's, well, that little boy there must have had a noisemaker New Year's Eve or something, and the hat looks like it was left over too.
Well, that bag's bigger
Carries
than him.
pretty good. And we got the Red Ball Jets who can go house to house really quick. Like the Paul Bearer, what is that on your hair? Is that dye talus?
Well, that's a good one. That's a good one, Big Mike. And
We should have thought of that, huh, Dr. Paul?
How'd you recognize me? He's a Great Pumpkin. What are you talking about? I never said it was Big Mike.
I wish I said that.
The Great Pumpkin.
Okay, that's right. Listen, Dr. Paul Bearer, I'll be lurking for you.
Well, thank you so much. And you know what, Big Mike, I'll keep an eye out for you too. Okay?
I love that. You know what I love the best about you?
What's that?
The Miss Invisible Beauty Contest, Bikini Contest.
Oh, that was great, wasn't it? In fact,
Man, that was great. You were awesome in that thing. Like Chuck Armstrong was my favorite. But I was always worried about Chuck Armstrong. Not because he scared me, because he was in West Tampa, WTVT, up there 4 blocks behind. He kept his mother in the cellar.
Yes, he did.
That Latino would keep his mother in the cellar.
that doesn't make sense at all.
And if I'm not mistaken there, Big Pumpkin, didn't he kill her every week?
What's that?
If I'm not mistaken, Shock Armstrong, didn't he kill his mother every week? He killed her every week.
No, he'd open at the door, and the fumes would come out of there, and he'd throw stuff down and yell at her. And I was on my bicycles. Man, we went over there. We wanted to save his mother.
I didn't really like Shock Armstrong.
No Latino woman from West Tampa staying in a damn cellar. Kidding me? I was in fear for Shock Armstrong's life. But I wanted to go over there and kick his butt too. But Dr. Paul Bearer, I love you.
Well, thank you, Mike. I wasn't a big fan of Shock Armstrong because we were kind of you might say
Friendly
enemies.
competitors, yeah?
Friendly competitors.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. Dr. WTOG, Channel 44, me and you, baby.
44.
That's right, 44. Listen, you guys have a happy Halloween.
Right back at you,
And
Big
Mike,
Pumpkin.
Mike,
Call us anytime.
You have a horrible Halloween too, okay?
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We have another horrible wing caller.
That's
Groucho.
wonderful. Here we go.
Oh, that's one of those dead calls I was telling you about.
That's one of those,
Well,
Dr. Paul.
What are you going to do about those? How much you can do. But callers, go ahead and give us a call. The number is on your screen, that is, not your screen. But we'd like to hear your horrible Halloween stories. So
Look at
give us
that
a
boy
call.
right there. That's a cutie.
I used to
What
have
are you
that.
doing there?
I used to have that on my car one time. Those things on his hat, My
Those little bingo
lowrider.
balls there. Yeah, it looks nice. Looks nice. That's a Halloween picture. What do you call that? Mariachi?
That's a mariachi player.
Uh-huh. Maybe that mariachi boy's out there watching and he might like to give us a call.
Groucho, you're a little grouchy today, aren't you?
I am a little grouchy. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, Dr. Paul and Groucho.
Groucho, this is David Benito calling.
Hey, David Benito, how are you?
Benito.
How you doing? Boy, you brought back some memories with this Halloween. My biggest Halloween, well, I have two, but from when I was much, much younger. I don't know if you remember, this was way before the current Hyde Park Village. They used to have the Fridays, the ferals on the Main Street ice cream, and then next door was this Owl and the Pussycat toy store, where Hyde Park Village is now.
Dr. Paul, Owl and the Pussycat?
The Owl and the Pussycat toy store.
Mm-hmm.
And I was maybe 10.
Well, I was a night owl myself, but I don't remember that one, though. You know?
And I know a few Pussycats, but I don't quite remember the Owl and the Pussycat. But go on, David. Tell us more.
My mom got me this astronaut costume that was made of cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
It lasted about a block and a half.
What did you lose first, David? The helmet, the body part? What fell off first?
Well, it was the pants were like square, almost square. They, you know, it was made of like construction paper.
Sure.
And they weren't really made for trick or treat, I don't think, because they did, you know, they only lasted like, you know, 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But I also remember my mom, who passed about 4 years ago, for as long as I can remember, making candy apples for the entire neighborhood.
Absolutely,
Wow.
absolutely, and they were wonderful. We had them every year at the same time. It was sort of what kicked off the holiday season, was it not?
Oh, yeah. You know, we, as time went by, the mix got harder to find.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we saw it, we would grab like $5, $10. You know, we would clean it out when we were moving after we sold the house after she passed. We found probably 5 boxes of candy apple mix stuffed way back in the closet.
She loved her boys. She always wanted to have candy apple mix for you.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you. Now, let me ask you this, David, and Dr. Paul wants to know too. Are you continuing the tradition? Are you making them at home for yourself and for your family and friends?
I couldn't even begin to know how to make them.
Well,
you know,
Groucho suggests that maybe you learn a little bit, because I tell you what, it'd be a nice tribute to your mom if you learn how to do it. And when you do, give us a call. We'll come over and help you.
Yeah, definitely do.
Yeah, I'll try to do I will.
All right.
Oh, that's
All right,
great.
thanks, guys.
David,
Hey.
happy Halloween.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling, David. Got another call here. I'll go ahead and take this one. Groucho. Looks like another dead caller here, and well, Fright fans, go ahead and call in.
Call back. You know, Dr. Paul, he doesn't get out too often, and you put him in front of one of these fancy new phones, well, he doesn't know what to do with himself. But
Well, you know, how long have these things been out? They look kind of new to me, but oh, here they go. They're calling back here. Here we go. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Well, another dead call here.
Hang on.
Hello, caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Well, let's hear this. Tampa, yes. All right. Hey, that's where we're at. So.
And who's this caller?
Vince.
Who?
Vince.
Vince who? What's your last name?
Vinny, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Tampa. How are you, Dr. Barrow and Groucho?
Nice to see you out there. First time caller, Vinny?
Yes.
Last name Kalura? How do we know this?
I thought it sounded familiar.
Dr. Paul said something about you earlier today. Said maybe he might be calling today. And there you are. How you doing?
Oh, great. Used to watch Dr. Paul and used to watch Groucho's film.
Duck Soup.
Wow.
You know, it's been a long time since we made any movies, but you know, we had a good time. So tell us your favorite Halloween story.
Well, I didn't actually call for a Halloween story, but I did have a trivia question for you.
All right,
Sure,
trivia
we're ready,
question.
we're ready.
Dr. Paul's
What
ready.
holiday song hit #1 this week in 1962?
1962 holiday song this week.
That goes back a ways. Was it?
Moon River.
I think I may know. Was it Fang Sinatra, Strangler in the Night?
No, it was Monster Mash.
Monster Mash. Okay, wow.
They did the mash.
I should have known that.
They did the Monster Mash.
Bobby Pickett.
I think we created a monster. Come to think of it, you know.
Hey, Vince, where you been? We've been waiting for your call all season.
Yeah, no, well, I don't talk on...
On the phone too often?
No.
Well, you are tonight, and guess what? We're recording this for all time, Vinny, so...
You're talking
you know,
on the TV tonight, actually.
Yeah, we can listen to you anytime we want to now.
Well.
We got you.
All right, guys. Great show.
You call
Hey,
anytime,
thank you.
Vinny. Thanks.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, there's Vince Calora.
That was great.
We've been waiting on Vinny all season.
we were waiting for him a long time. But, you know, Groucho, he mentioned music, you know, and this time of year, my favorite singer, do you know who that is? Well, I just mentioned him a second ago. I
believe you
hope
did.
you remember that already.
Frank Sinatra?
Fang Sinatra. Well, not only was it Strangler in the Night, but I also like Moonlight Scarinade. Well, he had a couple other ones, too. it was a very good fear. Another one too, one of my favorites from Frank Sinatra was I've Got You Under My Skin. And the last but not least, The Impossible Scream. But just a phenomenal singer. I loved him. He was great. Oh, look, we're getting some more Fright fans calling in here.
Dr. Paul, I tell you what, I'd horse whip you if I had a horse. I tell you right now.
Well, he's always horsing around anyway. So. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Ruben Fernandez. I'm calling from Loops.
Hey,
This is Ruben Fernandez, whose picture was just up there a moment ago. I believe you was the little mariachi boy, were you not?
Yeah, I'm the mariachi boy.
Thanks for
Great
calling,
picture, Ruben. Thanks for sending that in this week.
You're welcome.
We appreciate that.
That was great.
So tell us your favorite story from Halloween. There he is.
Well, I don't really have a Halloween story. Nothing that really stands out.
Nothing that stands out? No special candy that you used to go get at that special person's house? Or
something that sits down, maybe.
No, but I can tell you this, that, parents, be careful how you dress your children, because my parents couldn't have known the impact that guitar had on my life. I never put it down, still play it. So.
Wow.
And that's a wonderful story, Ruben, but we must ask the question. It's a follow-up question. It's a natural question. Are you still wearing the hat?
I still have the hat.
And the guitar?
A little bit, of course. But, yeah, my wife loves it. I put it on every night, do a little dance.
Great. Well, Ruben, listen, thanks so much for calling. And thanks this week, too, for participating and sending in that picture. We appreciate that.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. Good show.
Thank you. Watch us anytime and call us anytime.
All right.
Thank you, Ruben. Happy Halloween. That's pretty good. We having trouble with line 5 here, Jeffrey. Every time I go to line 5, I can't pick up line 5. Well, line 5 seems to be working pretty well there. Caller, are you there? Give us a call. We got 2 lines open. Give us a call.
Groucho, tonight's really a scream, isn't it? Wow.
Dr. Paul,
I don't know what to say about that.
I've got nothing but respect for you. And not much of that.
Oh, okay, at least you got some, anyway.
Hey, look at that fella right there. 2 lines open, and here's somebody on line 4.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, Joe Abini from Seminole, Florida.
Joe Abini.
That's Joe Abini.
All right.
That's our friend Joe Abini, better known as Hop Sing. Hey, Joey, stick around. Your picture's coming up.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be on TV in a minute, Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Tell us your favorite, your best experience of Halloween. Tell us your story. What's your story? There it is. There's Joe Abini.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is. I'm less than 2 years old. Yeah, that was me.
You were a big 2-year-old, Joey, because when you sent that picture, you said you were less than 2. I was thinking, my goodness, I was 4 before I was that size.
Tell us your favorite Halloween story.
My mother, being a seamstress and a pattern maker there, she had a mannequin in the house with no head, no hands, and no feet, and the local boys...
Easy, Joey. This is not that kind of show. Easy, Joey. Easy.
Wow.
Easy. Go ahead.
They got me to take the mannequin down, and they brought over a pair of pants and put it on it and a flannel shirt, and hooked up a string to the neck part of it, and went over to 24th Avenue and climbed up. One of the boys, the Monty boys, climbed up in the tree and dropped it in front of a car. Several cars coming down the street, and a little bit of hash marks on the road and in people's pants, I think.
Wow.
Attaboy, Joey. Attaboy. Only back then could you do that and get away with it. People probably got out of their car and laughed. Oh, there's just those kids playing. Today you pull something like that, somebody's liable to pull out a gun.
Right. The problem was after about the 4th car, it happened to be the father of one of the boys, and
of course, party was over. Party was over.
Well, that's a good story. For sure.
Hey, Joey, let me ask you, because we talk a lot during the week. Are you watching us? Are you able to get the show tonight?
Yeah, I called in earlier. I was having much difficulty with it. I called in. They reset the server, or they reset the streaming, and bam, got it.
Oh, that's good news. That's good news, because we always, we feel real bad every week. Me and Dr. Paul over here, we feel real bad every week when we know that we've got folks out there that are trying to watch the show and they just can't get on sometimes. But we're so happy you're with us tonight, and thanks for sending that picture. Look at you. Hey, was that your real hair right there?
Yeah, that's it.
So, Joe, you're watching from the web. I was up on the web late last night myself. In fact, I just realized here I still got some of that on here. But anyway, I'm glad to see that you're watching us. So that's great.
Yeah, enjoy the show and have great fun tonight.
Good,
thank you. It's only going to get better. Stick around, Joey. We got big things coming. Big things.
And we're glad you're a live caller too, by the way.
Take care. Happy Halloween to you and your family.
Thanks.
All right, Joe. Oh, that's our good friend Joey B.
That was a great call, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Wow, so we may have to bring out this grim scary tales after all.
Well, what else you got in your bag of tricks down there,
Well,
Dr.
you know,
Paul? I know you've been working all week on that stuff.
Funny you asked, Groucho.
I'm funny when I ask
Stop
things.
it. Yeah, you do. But anyway, I went to the grocery store today, and I was kind of love my favorite breakfast cereal. It's Raisin Brain.
I've
Really
had that
good.
before,
It
Dr.
actually makes
Paul.
you smarter too.
A little crunchy.
Very much like the Bloodweiser. But anyway, another thing too, I got I have a sweet tooth, you might say, and my favorite cookie here. I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's Vanilla Streams. And
I can help you with that, Dr.
Go
Paul.
ahead and take one if you'd like.
You don't mind?
No, they're
Get
really
one of
good.
those.
Be careful when you bite it, though.
Wow, Dr. Paul.
Well, maybe you better not, after all.
Maybe I should just
let's
leave
put
that-
this back in
leave
the
that for
bag here.
later.
There's something wrong with this one. I'm going to take this back to the store.
Delicious, delicious
Anyway,
screaming cookies.
After you eat those cookies, though, you might want to brush your teeth with a little Ultra Fright. Well, anyway, let's put this back up here for the viewers to see. Ultra Fright. By the way, we've got another Fright fan calling here, so let's take that call. Why don't you hit the buttons?
Caller, you're on the air. This is the Tampa Native Show. I'm Groucho Marx. That's Dr. Paul Bearer. What do you got to say for yourself?
I'm saying this is the big guy calling for Luca from McCovey Cemetery, and it's 2-2.
Nice.
Wow.
We do appreciate the update. We figured we might have a little challenge tonight because there's on account of this baseball game going on, you know. And but you know, hey, we're here. Our fans are here. We just got a call from Seminole Joe Bean. We got a call from Luca right now. We got coffin boxes on the table, and we're still waiting for somebody to hit the secret word. The secret word today is, I won't say it.
There's two secret words. Right?
There's two secret words.
2 secret words.
Well, give us another call here before the end of the show if you don't mind, if something changes there in that little ball game going on over there.
I would do that, but I see you're appreciating that fine Cuban cigar you have, and I'm wondering where you're getting them from.
Well, it can't be coming from Cuba because they're illegal, but you know, I got to be honest with you. Maybe it is. It's nice.
Wow.
Thank you, Luca.
Thank you, Luca.
Keep watching.
Time, guys.
Keep watching. There's something special coming up here in just a few minutes.
Can't wait.
Thank you. You know, look at that picture right there. You know, back in the day, we used to dress up like cowboys and Indians and
Sure did.
soldier boys, and you know, it's that's an interesting picture there. You got guns, you got helmets. That one on the far right there looks like a little federal rally or something. Looks like it might have been part of the Cuban army there.
You know, we used to dress up as ghosts and goblins, though. We didn't really do that too much, but
Well, Dr. Paul, you know, that caller that just called there mentioned something about that baseball game out there in San Francisco, and I got to be honest with you. Can I ask you a question?
go right ahead.
Oh, what kind of a doctor are you?
Well, I'm a doctor of psychology.
Well, that's perfect, because you know what? I need a doctor of psychology right about now. I got to tell you something, Dr. Paul. I've been having these recurring dreams lately, and I can't quite figure out exactly what's going on with me. I will tell you this. When I was a younger man, I used to play a lot of baseball. And, you know, lately I've been watching a lot of baseball on TV. And to be honest with you, every time I go to sleep, I lay my head on the pillow, and I just keep having this recurring dream. And it's funny, because I'm being interviewed, Dr. Paul, by this man that I don't know exactly who he is. To make matters worse, I'm speaking a foreign language. It's a hell of a thing, this dream. It's a hell of a thing, this dream. Maybe you can help me.
Hey, welcome to our interview with baseball great and former Chicago White Sox shortstop, Guillermo Willie Miranda. He's a big league star and a man who played baseball many years for Almendares in Cuba before that. Willie, tell the audience, what was it like playing in Cuba back in the 40s? Back then, did you have any gloves?
Bueno, déjame decirte, Eric, que cuando nosotros éramos chamaquitos en Cuba, se jugaba la pelota como se podía. Las pelotas no tenemos pelota, bueno, usábamos calcinete con cinta para hacer una pelota. Se usaba un bate, lo que se botaba en la basura, y guantes, no teníamos guantes ninguno. Fuimos a la basura a buscar un cartón, para usar guantes. Esos fueron los guantes.
Hey, I don't know what you just said, but it sure sounded like a lot of fun. Tell me, Willie, when you got to the big leagues, how did they treat you back in those days? Did they give you a hot foot or anything?
Bueno, tú sabes, los muchachos eran de todas, bueno, una broma, y nos trataron muy bien. Al principio, cuando llegamos de Cuba, no sabíamos ni la idioma ni la cultura, pero bueno, se acostumbraron a nosotros y nosotros a ellos, y jugamos la pelota, bueno, a un nivel alto, profesional.
I wish I knew what you were saying, Willie. but I don't have one of those fancy machines in my ear. Hey, let me ask you this. Who was your favorite player?
Bueno, tú sabes que a mí me encantaba ver a Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle, porque Mickey Mantle era un pelotero.
Mine was Shoeless Joe Jackson. He was like the best player ever, and he didn't even wear shoes. But they said he was part of the Black Sox scandal, but I don't believe it. Willie, you were known as the player who started the expression, "Good field, no hit." Your thoughts?
Pues bueno, yo daba la pelota, pero tú sabes, me defendía. Yo era un guante y no fallaba ni una pelota. Si me lo dieron por allá, yo corría y me tiraba así por la boca. Pero bueno, con el bate, un poco flojo, ¿sabes?
Hey! We all know that the baseball isn't made of cream cheese. But what if it were made of barbecue spare ribs? Would you eat it then?
¿Qué? ¿Qué me dijiste?
I know I would. Heck, I'd have seconds. Then I'd polish it off with a tall, cool Budweiser. Would you?
¿Pero qué tú me estás hablando, chico? ¿Qué dices aquí?
It's a simple question, Willie. Would you eat the baseball if it were made of ribs?
Pero el béisbol no está hecho de costillas, por favor.
It's not rocket science. Just say yes and we'll move on.
Bueno, entonces sí, vamos, sí, me lo como.
Hey! Willie, it should have been nice having you here with us this week. Would you come back and do it again?
Pues seguro que sí, cierto.
Maybe you and I could go out after the show and have a couple of tall, cool Budweisers.
Sí.
You can teach me a few of them Spanish words.
¿Por qué no?
Willie Miranda, everybody. He's a good kid. Tune in next week when my guest will be Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, pero ese tipo murió hace 60 años.
What? Apparently, 9 years ago. We'll try to get him anyway. See you next week. Come swinging.
Hasta luego.
You see, Dr. Paul?
Wow.
You see what I
All I
mean?
can say is that
I've been
was a
having this
very
recurring dream and I
interesting
just
interview
can't
with Harry
figure it out.
Willie.
Can you help me?
Well, you know, Groucho, my mentor and my trainer was Sigmund Freud. But basically, I mean, I think what he would have recommended was that you need to see a psychologist.
Yeah, Dr. Paul, I believe that too.
And it is a baseball story. It may be a little batty for all we know.
Yeah, Dr. Paul, you may be right. I tell you what, I was just like that boy, Willie Miranda, too. You know, that was a lot of fun. Well, Dr. Paul, let's see if we can get some more callers to call in and tell us their favorite Halloween stories. Because, you know, we've got 2 secret ways. We're trying to give away these coffins over here tonight. And if somebody wants to, we'll even send them a little nose and eyebrows and fake nose and glasses. Dr. Paul, I'm in a giving mood tonight. What do you think?
Well, I agree, and let's definitely do that. So the more callers that call in, the better the chance of winning these items. So, excuse me, by the way. And
Doctor, you feeling okay?
yeah, I've got a little cough here, but I think.
Hey, what's with that cough?
Well, you know, it's not the cough. It's not the cough that carries you off. It's the coffin that carry you off when you got to worry about. You know,
Dr.
so
Paul.
well.
Let's get this caller right now.
I'll put a little witch hazel on it. It should be
Before we
fine.
lose, Dr. Paul, I'll tell you what, in your case, I never forget a face, but in your case, I think I'll make an
Well,
exception.
thank you, Groucho. I appreciate that.
Caller, you're on the air with Tampa Native Show. I'm Groucho Marx. That's Dr. Paul
Hi,
Bell.
caller.
What do you got to say for yourself?
Not much, I say. What do you think?
I just had to call and say you guys look great tonight.
Oh, thank you very
Well,
much.
who's this calling? We like to know who's telling us we look great.
This is Olivia.
Oh, Olivia.
Olivia.
Well, hello, Olivia. How are you? Are the kids up? Are they watching the show?
The kids are not up. I am recording the show for them, though. They'll be very
Great,
excited to see it in
great.
the morning.
Well, here's for the kids that are not up watching the show. Yo, Anthony. Yo, Bella. Go to sleep. Look at that kid right there. He's adorable. Superman. He's adorable. Olivia, you got any stories you want to tell us?
You know, I remember being little in Town and Country Hospital. They used to put on a huge thing with Q105, and they have a pond, I guess you could call it, in the back, and they had this huge just trick-or-treat kind of ring around there, and I used to do that every year with my grandparents.
And that sounds like a lot of
That
fun.
does sound a lot of fun.
We
Right.
all remember our grandparents in those days, those wonderful days. My grandmama was pretty nice too. And I remember going over to her house first and getting all the good candy. And then she'd hide the good candy, keep it for me for the rest of the week, and give away the the jujubes and the stuff nobody else wanted.
That's right.
But you know, that's how it works in your family. That's how it worked in my family. How about you, Dr. Paul?
Same here too. We have a lot of horrible old memories too from.
Hey, Olivia, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
What do you think about Dr. Paul?
Dr. Paul looks great.
Does he look good?
Oh, thank you very much.
Good, isn't he? Yes, isn't he? I like. We're gonna have him. He's gonna spin off and have his own show. I got a feeling he's bucking for his own show.
Seriously, you gotta watch out.
Well, thank you very much. And,
Hey, Olivia, let me ask you a question. Did you ever have to worry about collecting apples or getting apples when you went to certain houses and things of that nature?
You know, we didn't.
Did they ever warn you about that?
Apples. I remember in my grandparents' neighborhood, we had a guy who gave us pennies.
Nobody ever wanted pennies.
I didn't want pennies.
No.
Pennies didn't make a lot of sense, did they?
It was like a bowl, and he would just say, whatever you can grab is what you would take. And
if you had big hands, you
well,
made
maybe
it
back
better,
then pennies could buy you something, but in this day and age, I don't think pennies are worth it. But I tell you what, the most fun I can remember having was after you got home, exhausted, 10:30, getting home, sitting on the floor in the living room, and dumping all that candy on the floor.
And begging just to have one piece before bed.
Of course.
Oh, that's right.
Of course. And then for the next 2 weeks, you took candy to school every day. You traded with your friends at school. It was a good time.
Livia, what was your favorite candy?
What was my favorite candy? Lemon heads. They
Lemon
still
heads. My least favorite were butterscotch. I never liked butterscotch.
Oh, no, I didn't like those.
We always separated those out too and gave them away.
Take them out.
Of
Or
course.
threw them away.
Those are the ones you traded at school for stuff that nobody else wanted. Olivia, thanks for calling, darling.
Thank you very much for having me.
Call anytime and show this to the kids tomorrow. They'll get a kick out of it.
Absolutely.
Good night.
Groucho, before you
Thank
take
you.
that.
Bye.
Thank you,
Happy
Olivia.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Before you take that next call, let me got a problem here. Let me just take care of it. I'm going to use some Frayed. We've got a bug problem here sometimes, and we got to take care of it right now. So hang on. Don't try this at home. We got him. Yeah, there he is. So we'll get rid of him. So we're good now. So
You won't be bothering us anymore.
No.
Oh, the spider, you won't be hearing from him anymore. Hey, caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name, where you're calling from. This is Groucho. That's Dr. Paul.
Well, hello, gentlemen. You look real nice this evening.
Yeah, somebody did Dr. Paul's makeup. I don't know who it was, but it came out pretty good. I did my own,
It looks good.
Wow.
It looks good. This is Brenda Ortelli from Tampa, Florida.
Hey,
hi.
Brenda Ortelli,
Hi,
how are
Brenda.
you?
I am good, gentlemen. Just wanted to say, great show. I've enjoyed watching it here these last few weeks. It's been really fun.
We're having a ball.
Yep. Trick-or-treating wasn't a whole lot for me. It wasn't something I really got into, but what I remember an awful lot was back when we were younger, middle school, my parents would always throw the big Halloween party for a lot of the parents within our neighborhood. And in turn, then I would have the opposite day, and then I would have a Halloween party at my home for a lot of us within the block. And we dressed up, we danced, we had so much fun. I remember going to McFarland Park with my dad and a few of the people in the block, and we'd take the moss and we'd get it, and then we'd turn around and bring it back to the house, and we'd spray paint it for decorations, and it was just a lot of fun, great memories way back then, and a lot of pictures to look at, and it's nice to reminisce about the Halloween parties that we all had.
If I'm not mistaken, I may have even attended, Groucho may have even attended one of those parties, and I remember, because your pops was pretty good. He'd put out the black plastic lining the carport there. We'd have the black lights, the music, and if I'm not mistaken, this one particular party that I remember distinctly, I walked up to the party, and it was me and Captain Cookie Biblioni, and it was amazing because I had Captain Biblioni, for some reason I had him on a leash, and he was like my Quasimodo friend, and I walked up, my throat was slashed, I had the fake blood going all over me. It was a spectacular evening.
Hunchback of Notre Dame or something, I think, something like that.
But the Hunchback of the ringing the bell guy, that was him, Quasimodo. And if I'm not mistaken, it was just a wonderful party, and your parents were lovely to do that for us, and thank them for us, would you?
I sure will. Well, guys, you're doing a great job, and enjoy looking at you, and you all take care. Have a happy and safe Halloween.
All the best to your family as well, Brenda. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, Brenda.
Guys.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Caller, we got 2 lines open. We got a few minutes left. Call us and tell us your favorite stories. Dr. Paul wants to talk to you. He spent all day working on that makeup, and he looks fabulous. We will do that.
Groucho, made a little bit of a mess when I killed that spider a second ago. So
Might want to clean that up.
We may have to clean it up a little bit and use this some Fantastic. You know, it's really does wonders. Well, you know, try it at home. You know, it works really well. But anyway, let's put this back in here for now. But so, what do you think?
I like that picture
Wow.
right there. Look, that's a vintage, a circa 1950 Bubba Boom sometime in there. There's a witch. Looks like maybe there's a
Looks like a dragon or
a devil. No, that's the devil. Look,
Oh,
I
cute.
see the horns on the front of that costume
You're
there.
right. Cute little devil.
I
isn't
like
he?
that. He's a cute.
Yeah.
Dr. Paul.
Wow.
Dr. Paul.
Yeah.
Let me tell
Wow.
you something. I just want everybody out there to know. This man sitting next to me here, he may look like an idiot and he may sound like an idiot, but don't let that fool you. He really is an idiot. I'll tell
Yeah,
you
don't
right
let that
now.
fool you at all. You know. But
Still waiting for somebody to come up with a secret word. The secret word today is... I'm not going to say.
I can't tell you. It's a secret. And the
But
word
it has something to do with Halloween. And if you'd like to win one of these coffin special collectibles, call in.
well.
We're waiting to hear from you. Lines are open right now.
And Jeff Haynes, our production mangler, he did put the number back up on your TV screen again, so be sure to call in. And also, if you want to email, you can email to show@tampanatives.com. Well, we're waiting to hear from you guys, so feel free to call in. And we want to hear your horrible Halloween stories. So, and anyway, we're going to keep an eye out for you for the phone here, too.
Don't
So,
we all have
yeah,
them? Don't we all have
definitely.
them? You know, Dr. Paul?
Oh, look, you know what? Thank you, caller. Looks like you heard our plea
Our
here.
cry
so-
for calls.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is David. I'm from Riverview.
Hey, David from Riverview.
Hello, David from Riverview.
Do you know Patty from Cincinnati?
Nah, I don't exactly.
Or
Okay,
Janet from
okay,
another
just checking.
planet. We don't care.
Or Cassie from Tallahassee? But go right ahead. Sorry about that.
Tell us your story.
No, we had a back up when in Rhode Island we had a Halloween wedding.
Oh,
that's
that's
interesting.
kind of interesting.
Well, it could be
Yeah, well-
scary, actually, you know?
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, we had to be all ghoulish.
Bride, groom, the party, everybody.
Everybody,
Boys and ghouls?
boys and ghouls.
Okay. Just checking.
It was great. And on the coffin thing, got an eye for coffins?
Oh, excuse me. I'm coughing right now, actually.
Dr. Paul, yeah. Well, we just got these two words over here. We're waiting, and you know, I figured by the time the show was over, somebody would come up with it, and if not, we're gonna drop a couple of hints on the next couple of callers and make this easier for you. You want to take a guess? Just
I thought it was going to be, eye for coffin.
Not the secret word. Not the secret word from Riverview.
Close, though, but
We've got other friends out there in Riverview that might be watching tonight. We're wondering why they're not calling. We had his picture up there a little while ago, man. That little boy that was playing Zorro. He's one of our friends. He lives out there in Riverview as well. Riverview's changed a lot. I got to tell you, it's changed considerably since the time we were kids.
Yeah, I have only been here about 2.5 years.
Oh boy. Well, hey, how'd you find our show?
I started flipping through the channels, and next thing I know,
You found
saw-
Groucho and you found Dr. Paul.
that fact.
well,
That's pretty good. That's
a great
pretty
job
good.
of
Well,
channel surfing,
you
I'll
got
say.
any big plans for Halloween?
No. We like to do the kids, but my height and my hair length and my facial hair, I tend to scare them.
You scare them? Well, you could always carry a guitar and play ZZ Top. You know, you could always go
Wow.
out as one of the ZZ Top boys. Listen, we appreciate you calling, and we're so thankful that you found the show. Call us anytime, would you?
All right, you got it, brother.
Yeah,
Take
please
care.
stay
Thank you
tuned.
so much.
Thank
Happy
you.
Halloween.
All right, peace out.
Thank you.
Another Fright fan calling here.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Butch from Land O'Lakes.
Hey, Butch from Land O'Lakes. That's our boy, Butch. How you doing, Butch?
Hey, good. I got the secret word is trick or treat.
Well,
Well, why don't you expound on that a little bit,
Yeah.
Butch? You got something else going? What was that little mantra there that, you remember that little song that we used to sing when you got up to the
Trick or
door?
treat, smell my feet,
What
give me
was-
something good.
Well, there you go.
that
It's
rings
one
a
of the
bell.
secret words, that
That
would be
rings-
feet.
Now
Very nicely done,
wow,
Butch.
that rings a bell.
Thank you.
We had to give you a little helpful hint there, but you know, you got one, so pick any one of these two coffins. Let us know how we can get it to you. Of course, you can always come by the house and pick it up. You know where we live.
Yes, I do. Hey, and by the way, that Harry Carey impersonation was awesome.
Wasn't that good? That young man is very, very talented. That other fellow wasn't too bad either, but that young kid, he carried that interview completely, didn't he?
Yeah, the other guy, I really didn't care too much.
Not too much, not too much.
Harry Carey was awesome.
It was very good. I'll tell him you said that.
Okay. Hey, y'all have a good night. Your costumes look awesome.
Hey,
Thank you. Happy Halloween to you, my friend.
All right.
See you soon, Butch.
You know, Elvis is still
Thank you.
alive. Look at that picture there.
Oh, that's Elvis right there. That's Elvis, the pelvis, and his Indian squaw.
He's
It
still
looks
here,
like
I
that.
guess.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That's a lovely picture.
Wow.
We got another caller.
Another horrible fright fan.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name.
And
tell
where
us where you're calling from.
This is Joe again, Joe Beanie.
Hey,
Oh,
Joe,
Joe
I'm
Beanie.
seeing calling back in.
I just calling back in. Rangers 2, Giants 4.
Okay, we don't
Wow.
like that right now. We'd rather hear it the other way
Wow.
around, but you know,
Yeah.
we'll take it. It's early. It's a 7-game season. 7-game series. And, you know, who you pulling for in that one, Joey?
The Rangers.
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
Me too. I'd like to see him win it, but you know what? There's going to be some happy fans either way. Hey, did you like that little dream sequence there? Did you get a hold of that? Did you get a load of that interview there with that fella from the 1950s Washington Senators, Willie Miranda?
Right.
Yeah, he was just dreaming.
Yeah, he was just dreaming.
But it was awesome. It was really good. I enjoyed it very much.
All right. Well, we appreciate you calling back, Joey. Thanks for the heads up and thanks for the update on the game.
Thanks for the score.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Just letting us know the bat.
I got to be honest
story.
with you.
Oh. Well, wait a minute.
Well, what have we here?
I'm the Wiki Witch of Tampa.
Come again? I don't believe I heard you.
I said I'm the Wiki Witch of Tampa.
Yeah, like Dr. Paul said, I don't believe I've heard of you either.
Wow.
Oh, yeah? Well, I don't play because I got a snake, man.
Oh.
Looks like a wiggle worm to me.
Yeah, like Dr. Paul says, that looks like a wiggle worm.
No. And now, Jew and Jew
And Jew?
and
Jew?
Jew got 15 minutes to go. Okay? Bye-bye.
Oh, good. Well, thank you.
Well, Dr. Paul, I got to tell you, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
You know, Groucho, I wonder if she's related to Witch Hazel by any chance, you know?
You know, Dr. Paul, women like
Well.
that should be obscene and not heard.
I hope she parked her broom in the closet, you know.
Well, we've only got 15 minutes to go, and that 15-minute girl has overdone herself this week.
Wow. Well, what was that thing you just said? Women should be seen and what?
I believe I said women should be obscene and not heard. What do you think about that?
I thought I heard that, but well, how about not seen or heard?
In this case, it would apply.
Okay, well. I know we still have some right callers here calling in, so let's go ahead and take one more call.
Take one more call,
Let's
Dr.
go ahead and do it. I'm having bad luck right now today because of that misfortune cookie. So, hello, caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Well, I recognize that voice somewhere. I don't know where, but
May I suggest? may I suggest a good laxative to you, caller?
Let me like 15-minute girl.
Okay. All right.
we need to give him a little raisin brain, I think. We need,
Fire good. Caller, where you calling from?
well, speaking of Batty, okay. Well,
I can't make out heads or tails there.
Transylvania.
oh,
Transylvania.
Okay.
Caller, take a breath. Take a breath, caller. And may we suggest some fiber? Caller, just a little fiber.
Maybe.
And the cookie, mysterious and spooky.
Wow, he sings too.
They're all together, Rookie.
The native family.
I suggest some frightened fiber, by the way.
I think I know who this is.
Buenos nachos, papo.
I still don't
Is
know.
this
who
call
it is.
coming from the Orlando area by chance?
No, another planet.
Another planet.
You know Janet from another planet by any chance?
You rang.
Cassie from Cincinnati. Lurch, where you been? We've been waiting for you all evening.
Well,
Good night.
Good night, caller. Good night.
now that was a dead caller for sure. You know?
Oh, that was
That was
exciting.
our first dead caller, so
That was exciting.
Put that
And
down.
what a night to not have our caller ID.
Oh, I know, of all nights, you know.
Caller, send us an email. We'd like to know who the hell that was. Because we didn't even really know. You got us good, caller, on that one. You got us good. Yeah, we like to think so. We
Well,
like
I
to
don't
think
know.
so.
He seemed a little.
Still a couple of lines open. We still got a few minutes left. We're waiting to hear from you. So
I
if
think
you're
he was a
out-
little. Wow.
Hey, listen, for those of you that are out there watching now, and we know you're still with us, when we ask you to send us some pictures, and we know you got pictures, like that Brenda girl that called a little while ago, we know she's got pictures in a shoebox somewhere. Send us those pictures. Whatever the topic of the week is going to be, send us your pictures. We'd love to show them behind us. See, those are two people right there. We don't really know who they are. We don't really care, but we're showing their picture anyway.
Wow.
So let's go to line 4 and see if
email too down there, by the way.
See if there's another crazy caller like the last one we just had.
I don't know. We can't beat that one, I don't think.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name, where you're calling from.
Oye, señor.
Senor, hello. Oh, yeah.
Senor, how are you?
Mi caso es su caso.
Wow. Diego from North Palomino, South Tampa.
Hoop, is that you?
No, this is Diego from North Palomino, South Tampa.
San Diego?
Diego from North Palomino. Well. Diego.
Si, senor.
Take a guess at the second secret word. We got another secret word. We're giving away coffins tonight.
There you go, Paquito Espanol, so don't go off the deep end with me there, bud.
It was pretty deep, but if you noticed in that dream sequence, that one fellow that was speaking that Espanol, he had that little device in his ear there that, was kind of translating for him. So he was able to talk to that other fellow, that Harry Carey fellow. It worked out pretty well for him, not so much for Harry Carey.
To be honest with you, I got to go back on the DVR. I've been doing work in the other room, but I've had the DVR rolling and trying to figure out who Dr. Paul Bearer is. And
wow.
It's very good makeup.
Oh,
thank you. And you know what? I tell you what. All the compliments in the world to my co-ghost here, because he went over the moon tonight. He surprised us all, didn't he?
I went over the top. Well,
awesome. He would be proud of you on Gandhi.
Yes, he would.
That's right.
WTOG channel 44. We've got an interesting story too. We got an email this week from, and I wish I could remember her name. It escapes me right now, but she mentioned the fact that she went to Plant High School. Was it Maida Torres? It was Maida Torres. Maida, if you're up there in New Orleans listening, and we hope you are, her story goes something like this. She ditched one of her classes to go see her girlfriend's boyfriend who went to King High School. They got as far as downtown Tampa hitching. They got as far as downtown Tampa and got picked up by none other than Dr. Paul Bearer.
Right
they
here.
got so creeped out, Dr. Paul's hearse and his makeup and his glass eye, that they jumped out 3 blocks later. They never made it out to King High School.
Wow.
Thank you, Maida, for sending that story in. Fabulous.
That was on Facebook, I believe. That was on your...
Absolutely. I didn't print it up, but I did remember, and I'm so glad that I did.
Good story.
Thanks for watching. Call us anytime. You're welcome.
That's great.
Mr. Marks, you can't hide behind those big eyebrows and mustache. I want you to wear that every week.
I will. It's a little itchy when I put it on at first, but hey, there he is. But I'm having a good time. Tie looks good.
Oh, the tie takes me back to the 70s.
Wow.
Well, I got a little secret to confess. I know those of you that know me when I graduated high school. Look, I wore this to my homecoming my senior year. This is my original bow tie. I got to use it 40 years later. It's an amazing story.
See you later, guys.
Take care. Thank you so much for calling.
It looks like 3 caterpillars on your face. Who am I to talk, though? Look at me. I mean,
Yeah, I like your makeup too, Dr. Paul. The hair is fabulous.
Speaking
the
of
tie
makeup,
is fabulous.
Groucho, speaking of makeup, I got to thank my what's her name? I can't remember her name now. Oh, it's Audrey. She's my scare dresser.
Yes, she is.
She did this tonight, so I got to thank her.
Hey, Dr. Paul, I got a question for you. If I was just to say I was to put together some kind of an event, maybe invite you to be my VIP, maybe say that the event is somewhere around December 4th, maybe say that we invite 60 of our favorite closest friends and those closest and our biggest fans at the Tampa Native Show. Maybe go to that famous Spanish restaurant in Ybor City. You know which one I'm talking about, Dr. Paul?
Maybe.
Well, how about this? How about we put it out there to all our friends? Maybe make up an invitation. I'll send it to you. You send it to all your friends. We'd love to have you join us if you're out there. We'd love to have everybody show up and be there a little Christmas early. December 4th, it's a Saturday. Dr. Paul, from 11 to 3 o'clock. Are you available?
I'm available. In fact, that sounds like a scream.
Well, why don't we do this? Maybe we'll even show up in character. If you come as Dr. Paul, I'll come as Groucho Marx. We'll be masters of ceremonies, and we'll invite 60 of our closest friends.
We are characters, if you think about it.
Well, if you're out there listening and you think you might want to attend, hey, let us know. We got a caller. Let's go to the caller real quick. Mr. Haynes, how many minutes we got left? We got 3.5 minutes. Caller, you got 3.5 minutes, please. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, and a quick story.
Hey guys, it's Sean in South Tampa. How you doing?
Hey Sean, how are you? Good to talk to you.
I'm doing good, thanks guys. I have a quick story about Dr. Paul Bearer. When I was a kid, I was about 6 years old. My grandmother took me over to the Goodwill across Gandy Bridge, and I got to meet him, and I got his autograph on a little like a 3x5 card, and it's him sitting in the hearse, and it says, "To Sean, horribly yours, Dr. Paul Bearer."
Horribly yours.
And I still have it to this day. And here's something you guys might remember. Do you remember when Channel 44, they did a midnight showing of King Kong, and it was when Harbor Island first opened up, and Dr. Paul Bearer hosted it, and they had King Kong on the inflatable King Kong on the side of the Harbor Island Hotel?
That's wonderful. Do you have
I
any
don't
pictures
remember that.
from that event by any chance at all, Sean?
You know, I'd have to probably dig around.
Dig a little bit, and if you do, please send them to us. We will show them next week when we start our show.
Awesome. Well, you guys have to keep up, man. You guys are doing a great job. I love this show. You guys are great.
We appreciate
Thank
you
you so
being there
much.
for us, Sean. Thank you so much.
Thanks for that story, too, by the way.
Good night.
Happy Halloween.
You know, I was there, and I don't remember that. You know, it's kind of weird, but...
Well, we had one there. We lost them, but if they'll call right back, there are 2 lines open. Got a couple of minutes left. Dr. Paul, it's been a wonderful, wonderful evening.
You know, everybody has a Dr. Paul story, too, if you think about it, you know. He's a...
Well, I gotta say, this exceeded all expectations. I knew coming into that we were going to have a good time, and I knew that you put an inordinate amount of time this week into putting together your props, and your makeup came together lovely.
Wow.
I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you.
Well, I'm just propping myself up here, I guess, you know. So, I mean, I had to... That's why I did that, you know, but... It's really a lot of fun too, though. Who's this here now?
I must tell you, I've had a perfectly wonderful evening, Dr. Paul, and this wasn't it. I believe that's John Sinchett. I believe that's Johnny Sinchett, a.k.a. George Reeves. Now, the story behind this goes, Johnny's father set him up, stood him on the top of his of the hood of a 1970 Ford,
Wow.
propped him up in that position. He's got the famous George Reeves stance. And you know what? We need to reach out to Johnny Sinchett. Johnny needs to be on our show.
Johnny, I'm going to reach out to you right now, actually. Well, never mind. We'll do that later again.
Johnny, we're going to get you on the show. If you're out there watching, pay attention, son. You're going to get something in your email inbox pretty soon. We're going to get you on this show. We do promise. That's a great picture.
That is a great picture. And he's standing on the hood of a car?
Standing on the hood of a car. He's got everything, cape, shorts, boots. He's got it all.
Well, they put it.
And his hair is wonderfully coaffed as well.
At least it wasn't a locomotive, you know.
Faster than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Wow.
I believe it was faster than a speeding bullet.
Well, Groucho, I'm so glad you came to the tent.
We've got 2 quick calls. Caller, just say goodnight to us. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. We've got 30 seconds.
Oh, it's the Big Pumpkin. I'm from Orlando. Good night. I love you guys. Great
Thank you,
show.
guy.
Love you too, Big Pumpkin. We'll call you next
We're
week.
going to get together soon. I'm going to tell you something. Hey.
Thank you so
have
much.
a Halloween,
Next week for sure. Caller, real quick, just tell us your name and where you're calling from. 30 seconds.
Yeah, I just want to know what time you guys are on every week.
9 o'clock right here, and the replay is on Sundays, 9 o'clock. Bright House, 9:49, and Verizon 36 on Sunday, the replay of the show, but we're live every Wednesday. Thank you for calling. Well, ladies and gentlemen, salute and happy days and happy Halloween. We'll see you next
for you,
week.
by the way.